Well, it's time now for the day's business news then. And for that, our business editor, Yuka Royer, joins me in the studio. Yuka, he still has a month before returning to the White House, but Donald Trump has already, of course, sent Congress into disarray.
Well, Aaron, the U.S. president-elect upended the bipartisan efforts to avert a government shutdown as he rejected a stopgap bill and pressed Republican lawmakers to renegotiate it. Congress has not been able to adopt a proper budget for the fiscal year that began in October and has instead been passing temporary bills known as continuing resolutions. The most recent one expires on Friday night, and the new bill would have kept the federal budget running at current levels until mid-March. Brian Quinn has the details.
Donald Trump has yet to return to the Oval Office, but he's already throwing a wrench into the gears of government. The president-elect is railing against a bipartisan spending deal passed in the Senate earlier this week, calling it full of giveaways to Democrats and threatening to end the political careers of Republican House members who support it. His vice president-elect, J.D. Vance, adding that Trump wants the U.S. debt ceiling raised or scrapped before he takes office so that his administration isn't saddled with it.
Well, what the president believes is we should support a clean CR so long as it contains a debt limit increase.
Coming in at over 1,500 pages, the nearly $460 billion CR for continuing resolution included $100 billion for disaster relief in the wake of several devastating hurricanes, along with $10 billion in aid for U.S. farmers. Trump's opposition to the deal follows that of his highly influential advisor Elon Musk, who spent Wednesday slamming it on his X social media platform. Musk has been tasked by Trump with finding ways to radically slash government spending in the new administration. Democrats have denounced the Republican about-face on the agreement.
House Republicans have now unilaterally decided to break a bipartisan agreement that they made.
A new stripped-down bill is expected to be presented by House GOP members in the coming days, but likely not in time to prevent at least one-fifth of government agencies from temporarily shutting down as of the weekend.
Well, saying in the United States, then, thousands, Yuka, of Amazon workers are going on strike, and this with less than a week to go until Christmas.
It's slated to be the largest ever strike against Amazon in the United States. Trade Union International Brotherhood of Teamsters says employees at 7 Amazon sites will begin their walkout on Thursday. The industrial action comes after the e-commerce giant ignored a December 15 deadline set by the union for contract negotiations. The strikes are affecting a warehouse in San Francisco and 6 delivery stations, including in New York City. Amazon has been challenging workers' unionization drive in recent years and also says delivery drivers are not its employees.
Yuka, this week is also seeing some major central bank decisions, the latest coming from the Bank of England.
As widely expected, the Bank of England just announced that it's keeping its benchmark interest rate unchanged at 4.75%. It comes as annualized inflation in the United Kingdom rose to the second month in a row to 2.6% in November. Earlier in the day, Japan's central bank also held its rates steady at a much lower 0.25%. Bucking global trends, the Bank of Japan started raising borrowing rates only this year as prices surged following years of deflationary spiral. Governor Kazuo Ueda said he needs more information regarding wage increases and that he'd remain cautious amid geopolitical uncertainties. And those rates decisions came a day after the US Federal Reserve lowered interest rates by 0.25%, but signaled a slower pace of further cuts in the next 2 years as inflation remains sticky. That has caused US stocks to nosedive, and global markets are also trading weaker. Europe's main bourses are currently all down by more than 1%, Erin.
Now, Georgia's ongoing political crisis, to shift gears, Yuka, is starting to have an impact on its economy.
The former Soviet Republic has been gripped by mass protests since the ruling Georgian Dream Party decided to freeze talks to join the European Union until 2028. The pro-Russian party claimed victory in October's parliamentary elections, but the opposition accusing them of fraud. The political turmoil has had a devastating effect on the country's tourism and hospitality sectors, especially in the capital, Tbilisi.
From Black Sea resorts to ancient cities in the Caucasus Mountains, Georgia has plenty of attractions to draw in tourists from around the globe. But its ongoing political crisis has dealt a heavy blow to the sector. The capital, Tbilisi, has seen massive street protests against the country's new pro-Russian government and its plans to turn away from the EU. Restaurants downtown have seen their clientele dry up almost completely.
As a business, it's devastating. We are close to Parliament and it's protected, so we're on the same street. So actually there is no possibility for our guests to come.
Meanwhile, this hotel in Tbilisi has just 3 guests for 70 rooms. One trade association says hotels across the country are at a 30% occupancy rate, with less than 10% of rooms filled in the capital.
It's approximately about 3.5 million euros already been lost with the cancellation in the last 2 weeks.
Tourism accounts for roughly 7% of Georgia's total economy, and it's not the only sector hit by the crisis. Many foreign investments have been put on hold. The Georgian economy overall is healthy, with 9% growth forecast for this year. But some economists are warning that a slowing influx of foreign currency could devalue the lari, a major risk for the import-dependent country. And the situation could get much worse if the West were to impose economic sanctions.
That's it from the business desk.
Yuka Roye, thank you very much.